Liverpool, England. The borough of Anfield. 29 Wolverton Street. Tuesday evening, January 20th, 1931. William Herbert Wallace, an insurance agent for the Prudential, leaves his home at 6:45 to keep an appointment in the southern suburbs. The address? 25 Menlove Gardens East, Mossley Hill. He spends 2 hours walking those streets in the cold January dark. Menlove Gardens East does not exist. There is a west, a north, and a south. There is no east. He returns home at 8:45. The front door is bolted from inside. The back door will not open. A neighbor, John Sharpe Johnston, joins him on the third try. The back door gives. Inside in the front parlor, by the gas fire, Wallace's wife Julia is found beaten to death. 11 blows from a heavy instrument. The murder weapon is never recovered. Wallace's own mackintosh raincoat lies under her body, partially burned. 3 suspects survived the 95 years since. The first, William Herbert Wallace, the husband, a 52-year-old insurance agent, the man who answered the telephone the night before, except Wallace had not yet arrived at the chess club when that call came in. Convicted by a Liverpool jury in April, conviction overturned on appeal the following month. The first English murder conviction ever quashed on grounds that the verdict could not be supported by the evidence. The second, Richard Gordon Parry, a 22-year-old former Prudential collection clerk, on Wallace's own route. Knew the Wallaces, knew the cash box, knew the Tuesday schedule. Dismissed from the Prudential the year before for petty embezzlement. The third, a stranger calling himself Qualtrough, the man who placed a telephone call to the chess club from a public box 400 yards from Wolverton Street. Never identified, never traced. 3 pieces of evidence. Evidence 1, the telephone call, placed from the public box at the corner of Rochester Road and Breck Road at 7:20 in the evening on Monday, January 19th. The caller asked the operator twice to reverse the charges. The operator was Lillian Kelly. She kept the timed call slip. Wallace did not arrive at the chess club until 7:45. The voice on the line was described by the captain, Samuel Beattie, as gruff, well-spoken, with a Liverpool accent, and young. Evidence 2, the locked room geometry. Both doors of 29 Wolverton Street were bolted when Wallace returned. No signs of forced entry. The parlor gas fire was lit, but had not been on for long. Julia had been struck 11 times with a heavy iron bar or a poker. The mackintosh, Wallace's own, lay under her body, partially burned, either a discarded weapon wrapping or a partial cover-up. Evidence 3, the motive triangle. Wallace's Tuesday collection route brought in close to £100 in cash. A substantial sum in 1931. Julia kept the household cash box in the parlor. Parry had been seen by the milk boy Alan Croxton near the Wallace home on the evening of January 19th. Parry's alibi for the Tuesday, he claimed to have been with his girlfriend, Lily Lloyd, was retracted by Lily, under oath, decades later. 3 clues eliminate 2 suspects. The telephone call was placed 25 minutes before Wallace arrived at the chess club. Multiple witnesses confirmed the arrival time. The caller was young, well-spoken. Wallace was 52 with a soft Manchester area accent. He could not have made the call. The first suspect does not survive evidence 1. A stranger calling himself Qualtrough had no reason to invent a fictitious address in a Liverpool suburb unless he knew Wallace's collection route, knew the cash box in the parlor, and knew the rhythm of the house. A true outsider would not have known to give an address close enough to delay Wallace for 2 hours, wrong enough that he would never find it. The third suspect does not survive the motive triangle of evidence 3. A 22-year-old former Prudential collection clerk on Wallace's own route. Knew the cash box, knew the schedule, recently dismissed, identified by the milk boy near the Wallace home the night before. Alibi retracted decades later by his own girlfriend. The voice on the chess club telephone matched. Anthony M. Brown's 2018 reinvestigation, drawing on the sealed 1981 deposition from a garage mechanic who cleaned blood from Parry's car the night of the murder, and on the Liverpool police file released in 2001, identifies Richard Gordon Parry as the candidate most supported by the surviving evidence. What most modern investigators of the case accept: Richard Gordon Parry, acting on knowledge of the route, of the cash box, and of the Tuesday evening rhythm of the house. But the case remains open in the legal sense. No charges were ever brought against Parry. The Crown declined to pursue the case during his lifetime. He died in 1980. The deposition was sealed for decades. Raymond Chandler called the Wallace case unbeatable. It is the only English murder conviction the Court of Criminal Appeal has ever overturned on grounds that the verdict could not be supported by the evidence. The question of who killed Julia Wallace in the front parlor of 29 Wolverton Street on the evening of January 20th, 1931, remains in the eyes of the law officially open. Next time on Quiet Hours, the south coast of England, Brighton, June 1934. A wooden trunk is left in the cloakroom of the railway station. 11 days later, it begins to smell. Inside, the torso of a woman, decapitated, never identified. The Brighton trunk murder.